Let's go straight back to the video. Today's video is what if Light and L were both in total drama. So we're going to explore 4 scenarios. 1, where Light's on the Gophers and L's on the Bass. 2, L's on the Gophers and Light's on the Bass. 3, they're both on the Gophers, and 4, they're both on the Killer Bass. Let's analyze these two characters and see how they can go forward, and potentially also win. Because I think L and Light would definitely outsmart a lot of these characters. At least he's the original generation. I feel like they're making just like Heather and Courtney. So let's see how this unfolds. So Light would jump to Superior in front, put Superior in front of L. Izzy and Katie still swap teams. The Killer Bass lose. Now Ezekiel would still say his comment because L wouldn't have no reason to intervene, as he would want to get rid of Courtney because he would see Courtney as an intellectual threat and her being very bossy on the team, with Ezekiel just not understanding what he's saying. So he would get along with Ezekiel as they're both socially awkward. And L would go to Ezekiel and would tell him not to say anything. So everyone targets Courtney in this timeline. I'm not sure if episode 2, there's no episode 1. So it's just part 1 of series. Episode 3, the big sleep challenge. I think Ezekiel would win the challenge. Light would last 48 hours, and I think L would win the challenge because he gets some sugar, so L will clearly win. And now Light loses the challenge, and Heather has her 3-person alliance with Light also overhearing this and wants to join. And Light would tell them that we should vote for Justin or Owen because Owen cost him the challenge. Light would agree to vote for Owen because it's Owen. He was very early on, and he'd want to get Owen out for being quite likable. So Heather can convince and Light and Justin will talk to Heather, so they vote for Owen. LaShawn, Gwen, Trent vote for Heather. Cody votes for Trent. Noah votes Justin. And Izzy can be convinced very easily to vote for Owen because they don't have that connection. As very early on, I think Owen can easily be voted off here. The reason Light wouldn't target Justin is because Justin's good looks. I think Justin is going to be a threat, but I think Light can see Heather and Justin's rivalry, and he will want to keep that around to get a target off his back. So he wants to get someone who's not very helpful in this challenge. I think Heather would get everyone to vote for Justin, so I think Light would definitely go along with this vote. Heather can convince these 5, so I think it's Owen. And I think Trent, Gwen, LaShawna, and Noah. Justin with Heather, so that's 5 votes Heather, 5 votes. And I think Light would vote for Justin because he won that one year in the game, and Cody votes for Trent. I think people are convinced to vote for Owen, as Heather can get the numbers. C5 vote Owen, D3 vote Heather. Justin, Noah, and Cody votes Trent. Sean and Trent, Gwen vote for Justin. I think Owen votes Justin, so it's 5 votes Justin, 5 votes Owen, and I think Owen can use the tiebreaker here because I think Justin will not beat him. Episode 4 is where it's the dodgeball. Noah doesn't compete, with Duncan and Harold still in the challenge. Elle would get Ezekiel or himself to wake up Duncan, and I think Heather would still sabotage even free player, which Elle calls out in the last episode, so I forgot to say that. And Noah gets the role, not Izzy, Noah. Episode 5, the talent show, Justin, Trent, and Heather. As Light wouldn't want to target us back, so we can try and work on the people. Duncan, Bridget, Ezekiel, and Jeff. Jeff and DJ. Now, Elle would talk to Ezekiel on how they need to add more people in the alliance, with Elle asking could they add Harold because he seems to be friends with him, and Elle would accept. knowing full well if he has the numbers, he can get out Duncan, because L is pretty threatened by Duncan. Duncan's the person L's want to get out sometime, and Harold wants to get out Duncan. Duncan doesn't like Harold, so I think L's going to agree to get Harold in the alliance. Light would be talking to everyone, but he knows Lindsay and Beth are all the way to Heather, so he can't really do anything with them. But he talks to Gwen, Cody, and Lashana. He talks to Cody on how he makes a deal that if he makes an alliance with him, he'll get Trent out. And Cody and Light are now in an alliance. Light's also working with Justin, as it's Justin, and I think, being honest, biggest challenge thanks to Harold's beatboxing skills. And I think Trent, I think Heather can get her group and Izzy to vote for Justin. Cody votes for Trent, which puts Light in an interesting position because Heather is the biggest threat, but Justin's also going to be a big threat. And I think Light would rather get rid of Justin than Heather, as he would have the same logic as Heather, as Justin can manipulate the girls later on in the game. But Heather already has 3 votes, so he would side with these guys and get rid of Heather. In episode 6, which shocks Heather as she's already her team. Episode 6 rolls around, this is the Sucky Outdoors. Katie and Sadie still get lost. I think even and Tyler are being very competitive with each other. Justin would thank Lindsay and Beth and tell them they're okay. And this would annoy Light because he wanted their votes. And Light realizes Justin's the next one who needs to get eliminated on this team, but he remains calm. L would get everyone to search for Katie and Sadie, and I think they still lose the challenge. And because Ezekiel's actually learned from L, that's not a good thing to say, everyone would still vote Katie. Episode 7 is Phobia Factor. I think Light's fear of being locked in the room with the entirety by himself. L would be not having sugar, and we'll deal with that. So Harold fails, Bridget fails. Actually, Owen's not there to make her fail, so she passes. DJ passes, Duncan passes. Jeff passes skateboard. Tyler fails the chickens. Ezekiel wanting the money, he fails. Sadie passes. Eva wouldn't fail. Worms passes. Justin passes. Cody fails. Trent passes. Shauna fails. Gwen passes. Beth passes. Lindsay, Izzy, and Light also passes. L gets the winning point here, so he is able to pass his sphere, sending the Gophers to elimination. Justin can get Lindsay and Beth. And Cody would still want to vote for Trent, but Light explains that we need to get rid of Justin. Now, Izzy would be charmed with Justin to vote for her. And Gwen and Lashana would vote Justin, with Light and Trent, and Cody also voting for Justin because he has no reason not to go along with that vote. Episode 8 is Up the Creek. He knows Trent and Gwen are a threat, so he's going to try and separate them. So he goes to Light, gets Lindsay and Beth because Light's a ladies' man and can be quite persuasive. I think Jeff Bridget takes Sadie, with Jeff going with DJ, Harold and Ezekiel, Eva and Tyler, which leaves Elle and Duncan. Light would get Lindsay to go with Trent. I think Cody goes with Gwen. Light and Beth with Lashana and Izzy, as Light would try to get her in an alliance as a result. I think in the end, Harold still accidentally burns the doors for his team, and Izzy still gives the idea to push him back, so Eva pushes him back, and Izzy still gets chased down with the CRMP. Episode 9, Paper Mode Deer Hunter, I think it's going to be Gwen, Cody, and Light are deer, the rest are hunters. Beth still takes the CP statue in episode 8. Jeff, Bridget, Harold, DJ Sadie, Duncan, Tyler. Duncan and Tyler do get along and bond a bit, but that's really it. Ezekiel, Eva, and Elle. I think DJ would still win the challenge, sending the Gophers to elimination. Now, Cody isn't a target here because he doesn't get mauled by a bear, so Light is able to convince Lindsay Cody. Cody is friends with Trent and pretty cool with him, which annoys Light's plan to get rid of Trent. So instead, he decides to target Lashana because she's the biggest threat that's not immune, and he's wanted to get rid of Lashana for some time, so he targets Lashana. In episode 10, it's the cooking challenge, and I think Light would put Gwen in charge. Everyone would vouch for Light to do it, but Light would actually not refuse and say that someone else would do it, so Trent volunteers. I think Jess still takes charge, and Elle and Ezekiel still have their alliance, and Elle says we need to convince people on our side to get out others, the underdogs, to our alliance. I think Beth still has to teach Statue both that Owen eat the ribs. There's no reason for the Gophers to lose. Sending the Killer Mass elimination. And of course Duncan's still messing with Harold. Now Elle wants to get out Duncan, but he talks to Tyler on how Tyler is their best player and leads them. Eva respects Elle for episode 3, so she's happy to work with Elle. Sadie would also like Elle because she would think he's quite interesting. And I think these three target Sadie. Bridget would be convinced by Elle to vote for Duncan. So Tyler also votes Duncan. Sadie could also be convinced to vote for Duncan. So I think these three vote for Eva. Sadie, Bridget. But I think Ella would say he needs to get rid of Duncan, so I think they target Duncan. Episode 11, who you can trust. What did they go for Duncan? So these three to go. Elle's kind of bonded with Duncan, but he knows Duncan's a threat and Duncan will likely not stick with him, so I think Elle's going to get these two at Eva. And he can also convince Tyler, on top of the fact he would say to Tyler and how once him and Lindsay will be in the merge together, and Duncan might get in the way of that, so Elle can convince these four. And I think Elle's also able to convince Sadie to vote for Duncan, so I think Duncan goes here, as he makes a deal to get rid of Eva. Episode 11, basic, the Who You Can Trust challenge. Gwen and Trent, Eva, and DJ, and I think Eva, DJ. Light, Lindsay, Bridget, Jeff. I think Light just refuses to eat that food, so I think they get the point. Cody, Beth, Elle, Sadie. I think Elle gets annoyed at Sadie for, of course, injuring him. Tyler, Harold, Gwen, Cody, Ezekiel, Eva, Trent Light. I think Trent Light. And then, of course, DJ still loses his bunny, so the Killer Boss loses the challenge. And Elle convinces everyone to vote for DJ because he causes the challenge. Episode 12 is basic trading. I think everyone falls tactically on the Gophers. And Beth would tell Light about her statue, not knowing it's cursed, and Light would decide to take it. Tyler wins the challenge, and I think Light would sabotage Gwen. So instead, Light plants the idol on Trent, so everyone's forced to vote for Trent. And Light chooses to get rid of Gwen, so she basically plants it on Gwen, and everyone's forced to vote her off except Trent. This is because Gwen would be a bigger threat going forward than Trent, who doesn't handle pain very well, as Light notes in the boot camp. Episode 13 is Trent versus Tyler and Trent. Jeff and Cody, I think Cody, Jeff. And then with Harold crashing into a rock, there's no reason for the Killer Bass to lose. So they win the challenge, Eva gets the girls and Cody to vote for Trent. Beth will be annoyed on how Light didn't get rid of her idol, so Light would tell the group that Beth sabotaged Gwen. So now we're at the merge, and just before the merge, it's guys versus girls, but I don't know how this works because there are a lot more guys. Luckily, it is just a raw challenge, and there's no significant event in this challenge. So now we're at the merge, and Eva is here, so she cannot return. Universe, nobody returns because we have Ellen Light as two extra contestants. So Lindsay has Light, Harold has Ezekiel, and I think that's kind of Cody has him as well. You can also get Tyler. So I think Evo wins the challenge, and Evo has immunity. So I think Light is going to try and target someone who is going to be a big threat, a couple, and he sees Jeff and Bridget as a threat. And he would see Tyler as the second biggest threat out here besides Evo, but Evo is immune. El, Harold, and Ezekiel. So El would want to target Tyler, as most people wouldn't see it. But El does. Light says people wouldn't see it, but Light does. He sees that Tyler just screw up and just really good insurance charges. And if it gets to the finale where it's a pain tolerance challenge, Tyler's going to win. Jeff and Bridget. So Sadie is on their side. So these five vote Bridget. Trent is going to vote for Cody because Gwen Limited. I think Eva would vote for Tyler. These two vote Tyler. 4 votes Tyler. These 5 vote Bridget. I think Bridget is out. So I think instead they all target Tyler because Lindsay Tyler are a couple. I think they target Bridget because Bridget and Jeff will likely, in Light's mind, are going to be more of a threatening couple than Lindsay and Tyler. Episode 16, Hide and Sneaky. I think Light wins the challenge. And Light, El has Eva. And I think Light can get his group of gang, and Jeff's suspicious of him. But these 5 are going to vote Eva. I think Jeff does one that vote on Trent, and they get rid of Eva. As the 17 trying to be sneaky, El would be talking to Trent and Jeff and making alliance with them to try and get out Light's group. As he talks about once they're using the challenge there next, Light would still win the challenge, with Trent and Jeff also accepting, but they're fighting on the rooftop. So Lindsay Target caught together, and nobody else wins a meeting. So I think Light would get these 5 to target Ezekiel, and El gets Jeff, Trent, and Harold to vote for Cody, to vote for Sadie because she's easiest to beat in a tiebreaker round. And I think Ezekiel could definitely win this tiebreaker, so I think Sadie goes home. Episode 18 is the bike race. Light would be sabotaging the other bikes, and I think everyone else makes it. So I think Jeff forgets the bolts, so he still wipes out. I think Tyler, Lindsay make it, Cody makes it, Light will make it, and El. I think Trent might make the bikes, Harold and Ezekiel will wipe out. I think everyone else will last second round though. So Light would wipe out, and El. As Light gets distracted, and El would purposely the challenge, knowing it's rigged. I think Cody, Lindsay could definitely cross. Between these 4, I think Tyler wipes out. Howard's mad biking skills, Trent is going to make it bikes, and I think because Cody is just the worst in the challenge, I think he gets voted off. Episode 19 is the next Screamer, and I think the winner of the challenge is a bit of a surprising one. Lindsay Tyler gets caught in the woods, Jeff gets caught, and Trent, El might get caught fighting with each other. I think Ezekiel beats the Riverside Killer with Harold fighting the fake chef one. So Ezekiel has immunity because he was really good in Jack the Ripper mode. So, and I think Lindsay gets, because nobody performed that DJ does here. I think this is an actual vote this time. Now, El still has Trent and Jeff and Ezekiel and Harold on his side. So he gets them to target Tyler as he's the biggest threat that's not immune. So they vote off Tyler. Episode 20 is Wakanda Gone Wild. And I think the winner of the challenge is Harold, because I think Harold won this challenge. Now, I think Light is going to see that Jeff is going to be a bit of a problem. And El realizes Harold and Zeke are really close. Like, El doesn't say that they're close, but he knows they're very close. So Light talks to El on how they need to keep each other around. They kind of like keeping each other around. As he says Ezekiel and Harold, which he's chosen the final 2. And El, in the end, Jeff and Trent being convinced, as Jeff can be convinced to go for Harold. But Trent he also goes to Harold. Now, L's a bit more hesitant because he'd actually bonded with Harold and Ezekiel. So I think Harold is out here. In episode 21, it's Light and L, Trent and Lindsay versus Jeff and Ezekiel. I think the eating challenge is Jeff and Ezekiel. The race to One Island, again, Jeff and Ezekiel. Remember, the Schnorrer is Light and L. So Jeff and Ezekiel have immunity, but they think it's a popularity contest. Now, L and Light obviously know that Jeff is the most popular vote. So instead, they target Lindsay. They target Trent, who is more likely in the popularity contest. As they want to keep Ezekiel and Lindsay on their side, so they all target Trent. Episode 22 is going to be Jeff, because everyone says Jeff's name. Light and Elden's trying to be as popular than neither does. Actually, Kane would say Lindsay, because they actually like Lindsay and have seen her in this episode. So they target Lindsay. Episode 23 is a non-elimination round. In episode 24 is Guys versus Girls. But now it's L versus Light and Ezekiel versus Jeff. I think L and Ezekiel would win this challenge. Light and L. And I think Chef would choose to get rid of Jeff because of him asking can they have pizza instead. In episode 25 is I Triple Dog Dare You. And L and Light are just taking dare after dare, and despite Ezekiel trying his absolute best, I don't think he can keep up. So Light and L are in the finale, with Ezekiel supporting L. Most people are supporting L, I feel like, and I think in the end, Light trips on a rock and L is able to beat him. Like, it's a competition, so it's not a situation where he's going to lose. So I do think L would beat Light here, and then get Light figured out as Kira. And he'd also get Chris arrested for endangering contestants. So this is the way I think it's going to go. And now we go into total drama. This goes now the opposite way around. And now we're going on to what if Light was on the grass, L was on the Gophers. Out the way, let's begin. Katie and Izzy still swap teams. Light would jump, L jumps, and Light would also jump to counter this, as I think L not jumping, Light would jump, L doesn't. I think the Gophers still win the challenge, and Light would make sure Ezekiel doesn't say his comment here, so he would tell Ezekiel to sit back and let Courtney do her thing, and I think the votes were going Courtney's way. However, because Light saved Ezekiel, I think they would vote Courtney. Episode 3 is a big sleep challenge. Ezekiel thanks Light for helping him. Light says no problem. And he asks, can they add Harold into the alliance? And Light says sure. I think Sadie and Katie both adore Light, and I think Heather still subscribes to the MP3 player, and L calls Heather out, saying it's bad sportsmanship, which changes the respect of L. Light would also do the same, would do the same thing, but he's not going to say it right now because L just said it. I think Ezekiel would win the challenge for his team because he's a far more industry. I feel like he would outlast between L and Zeke. I think it's very close, but I feel like L would win the challenge. And Light would get Eva, Katie, and Sadie on side. And I feel like here that everyone still targets Eva as a result. Episode 4 is Dodgeball, and Light would get Ezekiel to wake up Duncan, so Duncan and Harold still win the challenge. And they still get rid of Noah. So 5, Justin, Trent, Heather. I think Harold still boxes wins the challenge. Cody votes for Trent. These 5 and Owen, these 4 and 5 vote for Heather. L's the swing vote. I think he's going to vote for Heather, so I think Heather's eliminated. Episode 6 is Silky Outdoors. Can you say they get lost? And I think Light would panic getting everyone to search for them. And I think they lose. Now, despite Kenny and Sadie costing them the challenge, I think Light's going to want to keep them around. So he wants to get rid of Dunk. He wants to get rid of Bridget, who's going to be a much easier target on their back. So Ezekiel and Harold do accept to get rid of Bridget. These 5 would target Katie. And Tyler also wanted to protect Katie. However, Light talks to Tyler on how he should vote with them. So it comes down to a tiebreaker, and I think Katie still gets eliminated. In episode 7 is Phobia Factor. I think Cody fails, Trent passes, LaShawn passes, Gwen passes, I think Elle passes, Justin fails, Beth passes, Lindsay passes, Owen passes, and Lindsay. Duncan fails, Jeff fails, DJ passes, Tyler would fail. Light's locked into a room, so wouldn't know the situation. Sadie passes, Ezekiel passes, and I think Cheryl fails. So there's 5 to their 6. Actually, no, there's more people that pass in this. 2, 4, 6, 7 on their team to their 4, sending them to elimination. Now, Light has the winning point here, so I think Light would win the challenge. So Elle would target Justin, try and get him out, because he has Lindsay and Beth's vote. Cody still votes for Trent, and I think Elle would want to make a deal with that, saying that if he sides with them to get rid of Justin, but Justin has Owen, and I think Elle would see that Izzy needs to get hunted down by the CRMP, and I feel like Elle would likely say to them that they need to vote for Cody because Cody wants to get Trent out, because Cody calls Cody, LaShawn, and Justin all fail the first spectacularly. So I think these 4 target Justin. The other 5 vote Owen's friends with Cody, so I feel like these 5 vote LaShawn. And Izzy likes LaShawn, so I feel like she's gonna suck. So they're gonna vote Cody. And I think Cody goes. Episode 8, Up the Creek, I think Gwen and Trent are together. Justin gets Lindsay and Beth to go on a vote. I think he goes in with Izzy. Justin goes in with Lindsay and Beth. Sean Elle, which is over interview. Light would go with Sadie. Ezekiel with Harold. DJ and Duncan. Jeff and Bridget and Sadie. Tyler and DJ and Jeff. Tyler Duncan, which leaves Ezekiel and Harold. Light would be annoyed on how. So basically, it's these 3, these 2, these 2, and these 2. So these 2, these 2. Light would be with his group. Heather should make the final 3. Izzy still gets an idea. Gets chased down with the CRP. Tyler perspective. Episode 9, Pitbull with Deer Hunter. Cody would not get mauled by a bear because he's not here. Beth doesn't really love it's Justin because she likes him. He's been that mean to her. I think Justin's a hunter. As a deer. I think Bridget, Jeff, Harold, Tyler, deer. The others mean deer. The rest mean hunters. DJ still wins the challenge. I think Justin is going to get these 4 in a tiebreaker round. And these 4 vote for Justin, with the other 4 voting for Elle. As Elle would likely be an easier opponent to beat. So instead, Justin would know Elle's too smart. So I think he gets them to vote for Trent. They vote for Justin. I think Trent loses this tiebreaker. It's a hunting challenge. In episode 10, the cooking challenge, I think Owen still wins. Justin has the tiki statue, whereas Beth has it, and he needs to get rid of it fast. Elle would take note of this. I think in the challenge, Owen still eats the ribs. I think these 4 are going to target LaShawn, so they get rid of LaShawn. Episode 11, Who You Can Trust. Duncan and Tyler. Duncan DJ. Gwen Justin. Tyler, Sadie, Lindsay, Elle. I think Elle gets somebody from Marie. Ezekiel, Light, Beth, Owen, and I think Ezekiel, Light, Harold, Bridget, Lindsay, and Justin, and I think Justin gets sent to the infirmary. Then I think Justin and Lindsay get sent to the infirmary, so then Gwen, Owen, and then DJ and Jeff. Now Jeff still loses DJ's bunny, which is eaten by a snake, eaten by a shark, so Light's going to take note of that. I think so. I think that's the case, and I think Light can get Sadie and Ezekiel and talk about how we need to tell DJ the truth about Jeff's bunny. And I think Tyler can be convinced to side with Light, but Light's been getting closer to Duncan as he's noted that he's been trying to get him on side. I think Light goes to Bridget and asks him to vote for Duncan, and because he can be quite persuasive, I think they actually target Duncan here. In episode 12 is basic training, and Tyler wins the challenge very easily. Justin would get the girls and Owen to vote for Gwen because Gwen would be easier to keep in this situation. She's out. Episode 13 is Extra Torture. Elle is going to try and manipulate everyone to get rid of Justin to target the idol on him. I think here, in the end, I think Harold wouldn't crash into a rock, so there's no reason to kill Bastard Blues. Justin would want to get these rid of Elle, however, Elle has a backup plan, so instead he sabotages one of these four, and he sabotages Justin, and says to Justin has the curse, realizes that Beth has a cursed statue. So Elle would get Beth to reveal to the group that she has a cursed statue, and Justin's forced to vote her off. Now we're at the merge, and basically Elle saved himself here, as Elle knows that he eventually made a compromise with Justin to get out Beth, as he was keeping that information to save himself. Like, it's stated that Elle's like evil in like the guidebooks. So now we're at the merge, and I think Tyler easily wins this challenge. Light would want to get Justin out, as he would want to take out Elle as quick as possible. But he knows DJ could be useful, so these three are going to vote for Light. Elle is going to side with Light's group, and he also gets Tyler. Tyler is with them to vote Justin because Tyler doesn't like Justin being with Lindsay. Jeff and Bridget would also side with Light as they've been with him since the team phase. And Bridget's happy to work with Light since she helped him get rid of Duncan, so she has Jeff to herself. So Justin gets eliminated. In episode 16, Light wins being A because he's closest to villain. I think Light now then tells DJ the truth on how Jeff lost his money. And Jeff tries to deny it and explain himself, which annoys DJ enough to side with Light to get rid of Jeff. I think Elle will be annoyed at this because he wants to target the couples, but I think Jeff goes. In episode 17, it's Hide and Be Sneaky. I think Light now wins the challenge, and Elle calls DJ out on the roof. Ezekiel, Harold, and Light would be together with Sadie. And Light would want to target someone who's going to be a threat going forward. And DJ is detriment to Light, so he's thankful to him snitching on Jeff. Bridget's going to target DJ for a last challenge, and she's going to be annoyed at Light for voting off Jeff. Light would get these five to vote Bridget, and Elle would also vote Bridget, with Lindsay and Tyler and Owen probably tagging along because they have no reason not to go with that vote. In episode 18, it's the bike race, and I think here, who qualifies? So Tyler wipes out because Light sabotages the bikes, and Sadie, Ezekiel, and DJ. So Owen and Light crash into each other. I think Elle purposely wipes out between Lindsay and Harold. I think Lindsay wins the challenge, and Harold gets removed after this challenge. Episode 19, Light still has Ezekiel, but he's annoyed at the fact that he has lost his numbers. DJ is still loyal to him, but he still gets the worst death by default, so Light also loses another number. Basically, Light would be talking to the group on how to survive and help his team, along with Elle, with Elle being Fate's second killer. In episode 20, I think Light would win the challenge. And Light and Elle, as much as they don't like each other, realize that Lindsay and Tyler are going to be a bit of a problem. So they agree to work together and vote for Tyler, who's generally seen as a bigger threat, for even despite his clumsiness. So they vote for Tyler. Episode 21 is Light and Lindsay, Owen and Sadie, Elle and Ezekiel. So, The eating challenge, Owen and Sadie. The race to Rhode Island is Light and Lindsay, because Elle and Light would be racing very close to each other, with Light narrowly winning. Elimination order. I think this is close, but I think Elle narrowly beats Light here, so I do believe Elle wins the challenge, so no one gains immunity. But they think it's a popularity contest at this point, so they decide to target Owen. Episode 22 is Sadie, because I think here Katie is going to keep saying Sadie's name. Episode 23, non-domination round. Episode 24, I think, is Elle versus Light and Ezekiel versus Lindsay. Elle and Light win the challenge, and Chef gets rid of Ezekiel. Episode 25, I think Lindsay will not get her hair shaved off. And once again, that Light and Elle are the winners of this season. I think most people side with Light and Light, but this is the information I think to go on. And now we go into what if they were both in the Gophers. So, Light and Elle are on the Gophers, and basically in the first episode, Izzy and Katie would still swap teams. And actually, no, they wouldn't, because Izzy swapped teams originally by putting Izzy on the pass. I think in episode 2, Light would jump and Elle would jump as well. I think Light would try to push Elle, but I think Elle and Light grab each other and they jump in the river. I think the Gophers still win the challenge, and Ezekiel says his comment here. 246. Actually, no, Ezekiel wouldn't say his comment because there's even a number of guys and girls. So instead, everyone targets Courtney. Episode 3 is the big sleep challenge. I think Elle wins. Heather tries to do the free play. Elle calls her out, but it doesn't change the fact that Eva still goes home. Episode 4 is Dodgeball. I think Light would see that Heather is a big problem and needs to get out. So Elle and Light make a temporary truce because they know if this keeps carrying on, Heather's going to dominate the game. They need to work together to get her out. So they're going to try and target people who are going to need to get Heather out, and they go for Noah because they want to get rid of him, because Noah's going to be a problem. Noah refuses, doesn't compete in this challenge, and Light would try to reason with Noah, but Noah's just not having it. Elle and Light would not say anything to Noah here because they would think he's going to be a bigger target to get off their backs. And because of that, Duncan and Harold still win the challenge. Noah still goes. In episode 5, is talent shows as Justin, Trent, and Heather, and Jeff, Bridget, and DJ. Harold still beatboxes for his team, so he wins the challenge. Heather comes as Owen. Cody votes for Trent. These four vote for Heather. Elle would also vote Heather, and the Light would side with Heather to get rid of Justin. And now it comes down to a 5v5. So it's a tiebreaker. Now, I think this tiebreaker, as much as the Light would want to side with Elle, as much as he doesn't like Heather, I think he would agree to vote with Elle to get rid of Heather. Episode 6, Justin would replace Heather and Katie and Sadie, so that lost, so they get voted off. Katie gets voted off. Episode 7's Phobia Factor, and Cody fails. Lashana fails. Trent and Gwen pass. Elle and Light would pass. Owen passes, and Justin fails. Beth passes, and Lindsay. I think Harold and Ezekiel passes, DJ passes, Tyler fails, Jeff. He fails, Sadie passes, Izzy passes, Bridget fails, and Ezekiel has the winning point. Now we have these guys, and Justin has 4 votes. And Cody wants to get rid of Trent, so Cody makes a deal with Trent. So Cody wants to go for Trent. These 5 stick together to get rid of Trent. And Elle, Light, Gwen, and Lashana, though, vote Justin. And Justin's able to... Actually, Trent did his fear. So instead, Light and Elle deduce Cody as the bigger threat because he wants to get rid of Trent. As if it's a tiebreaker, there's a chance they'll lose the tie. These 5 can't target Trent this vote So Justin would target Cody. Cody would vote for Justin with these guys because he can't target Trent here because Trent did his here. So Justin is eliminated. In episode 8 is the Up the Creek challenge. I think Gwen and Trent are together. Light would get Cody to go with Gwen, which would annoy Elle. Lindsay and Light. Beth and Elle, which leaves Trent, LaShawna, and Owen on a boat together. I think here they're just going in pairs. So I think Cody's with these two. I think Light and Lindsay. Then everyone else just kind of in pairs. I think Ezekiel, these two are in the boat losers together. Bridget and Sadie, Duncan, Jeff, Harold, and this leaves Tyler, Sadie, and then Izzy is with Ezekiel. Izzy's too busy an idea, and Izzy gets chased down with the CRMB. Episode 9, Pitbull Deer Hunter. Light has Lindsay, Beth, and Owen, and knows that Trent is going to be a problem. So him and Elle work together to try and get out this four-group alliance, because they know if they vote each other, they're going next. I think it's close, but Beth still has the cursed statue, not knowing it's cursed. And I think I'd like to see that wouldn't say anything at this point. So I think the Killer Bass still win the challenge. Elle's a deer and Light's a hunter. And actually no, they're both deer. I'm going to say that the Gophers lose and they actually target Trent. They target Gwen because Gwen's a bigger threat that's not immune. So I feel like they all target Gwen here. Gwen has 3 votes, which is Trent and Cody. Episode 10, the cooking challenge. Owen still eats the ribs, so they lose. Now, Light would sabotage Trent, try to sabotage somebody else for Beth's cursed statue not knowing it's cursed, and Beth would have an ulcer first termination and reveal the statue, so everyone has to vote for Beth here. In episode 11, Light would tell Beth to let him hold on the statue and not say anything for now. So I think these 4 are majority, and Elle would side with these guys. Tell them to vote for Lindsay, for Beth. And I think the other 4 target Cody. And Light tells Beth to hold on to the cursed statue, and she's able to beat Cody by making him cursed. In episode 11 is the Who You Can Trust challenge. Trent Elle. Light and Elle, I think. DJ Duncan, Shauna, Trent, Lindsay Trent, Jeff Bridget, Owen, Sadie, Tyler, Owen, LaShawna, then Harold, Ezekiel, Beth, and the Light. Again, I think Jeff still loses Light's money. And DJ's money, which Light's going to notice. Duncan gets a new one. I think Elle goes to lose the challenge. And I think Light is deciding to target someone who's going to be a threat to be Jesus LaShawna. And they have to vote her off because LaShawna is the biggest threat, it's not immune. I think he goes with LaShawna here. Episode 12, Basics Trading, and Tyler wins the challenge. I think Light would go to Elle, Owen, and Trent to make a guidelines to explain how Beth sabotaged LaShawna. Elle would know that Beth has really not going to be able to do that. He knows it's not her nature, but he goes along with the vote anyways to become Light. Episode 13 is Extra Torture. I think Trent, Elle, Light, and I think Tyler. Now Harold still doesn't crash into a rock here, so he wins the challenge. And I think Light can get Owen and Lindsay to vote for Trent because he wants to keep Elle around a bit longer. And now we have the merge. And let's just talk about the guys versus girls thing for a second here. So basically, this is, I don't know how this works now, but it doesn't really affect anything because it's a non-relation. Episode 15, Tyler wins the challenge. So Duncan still has this little group. Ezekiel and Harold are together. Tyler and Lindsay are a duo. And Light can easily get Sadie and Owen on side. But now she wants to get rid of Tyler, but he has immunity. Jeff and Bridget are a couple, and I think Elle and Light would talk to Duncan on how they need to break up Jeff and Bridget. They would think on who is going to be easy, especially with Light. So he wants to vote Light. These three vote for Harold. Bridget votes for Duncan. So that's 4 Duncan, 3 Harold. Owen, Light, and Sadie target Bridget. Would target Harold. And I think this is where Light brings up to Jeff on how Jeff lost his bunny. So I think these 4 vote for Jeff. And Tyra Lindsay would also target Ezekiel. So I think Jeff goes here. It really shocks Bridget. Duncan's surprised that someone flipped. In episode 16, Tiny Be Sneaky, I think Light wins the challenge. Trash episode, Light wins immunity because he's also just a villain. I think Light wants to target the last couple in the game, Lindsay and Tyler. So he gets these 3 to vote for Tyler because he knows that he can work Lindsay way better. Duncan would be with DJ and talk they need to get rid of Tyler, so they can also get rid of Tyler, so these 5 are happy to work with Light. Elle would also work with Light to get rid of Tyler. And Bridget, Zeke, and Harold vote for Duncan. So Tyler's out here. In episode 17, I think the winner would be Light. And Duncan is a bit concerned here because Light has 4 numbers. So I think in this challenge, DJ and Duncan on the roof, I think Elle wins immunity. Now Light would get these 5 to target Duncan. And Bridget, Ezekiel, and Harold would be happy with that vote. In episode 18 is the bike race. I think Light sabotages the bikes. DJ wipes out, and who else? Sadie. And I think everyone else walks around. Owen and Ezekiel wipe out each other. Light and Elle purposely crash into a landmine knowing this challenge is rigged. I think Lindsay and Harold win the challenge. And Bridget goes. In episode 19, the Sapphire Screamer, and Ezekiel wins immunity because Elle and Light will fight each other and they get caught by the killer. Sadie gets caught with Lindsay, DJ screams, and Harold is with Ezekiel. So he also wins the challenge. Episode 20, kind of got wild. Light would 1-0 to Ellen and 1-0 to Light, but Light would also need to get rid of Harold pretty fast. So he gets the girls and tells them they need to vote these guys, Owen or Harold off here. So he's happy to work with Owen. Elle would try to get Ezekiel and Harold in an alliance, and Ezekiel wins the challenge. These 4 vote for Harold, so I think Harold is eliminated. In episode 21, kind of gone well. So it's Owen and Sadie, Light and Lindsay, and Light and Ezekiel, Light and Lindsay, and Elle and Ezekiel. So they can challenge Owen and Sadie. The race to my island is Light and Lindsay, and remember the nation order is Elle and Ezekiel. And they think it's a popularity contest at this point, so Light has Owen and Lindsay, but he realizes if it's a popular vote, so he decides to work with Elle and gets everyone to vote Owen. Episode 22 is Sadie. Episode 23, so Elle versus Light. So Elle versus Light, and I think Lindsay and Zeke versus Elle and Light. I think they win the challenge. I think Lindsay Ezekiel is eliminated. How dare you? Lindsay's out. So Light and Elle again. This is not intentional. And now we will finally on to the match order and how they would win if both members were on the Killer Bass. So finally, Elle and Light and the Killer Bass, they both jump. I think they lose the challenge. Light makes sure Zeke doesn't say his comment. And Courtney goes. Episode 3 is the Big Sleep Challenge. I think Elle wins immunity. Light and Elle would be deducing who to get on side, and I think Elle calls out Heather for free player from Eva. so he's able to get Eva and Sadie. Meanwhile, L would get Ezekiel and Harold to both be underdogs, so he calls it the Underdog Alliance, with Light calling it the Superiors Alliance. So they have rival alliances. I think Light is also going to try and get Tyler on the side, as they both want to get rid of Duncan's group, who's going to be a bigger threat, and Tyler and Bridget are the only two that's really not in an alliance yet. And I think Heather can get everyone to vote for Justin here, so I think Justin goes. So Heather gets Justin, it's Katie, Sadie, Izzy, Beth. When Katie won't vote Justin, so I think they have to compromise here. And they get Owen and Lindsay. So Justin, I think Noah would also, the rest get rid of Justin here for cheating. There's no reason to target Heather. Episode 4's Dodge Brawl. Noah refuses / doesn't compete. He gets voted off because of it. Tyler would do okay here, would do awful. Eva goes excellent, and Ezekiel still wakes up Duncan. In episode 5 is the talent show, and I think the winner would still be Harold. Heather has majority, so she gets everyone to gang up on Trent. Episode 6, this is Chef Outdoors. Katie and Sadie can get lost from the different teams, so the Killer Bass win the challenge, and I think Heather can get everyone but Owen for pretending to be a bear. For his bear story. I'm sorry, because of his bear story. Episode 7, Phobia Factor. So Lashana fails, Gwen and Cody fail, Heather, Lindsay pass, Katie passes, Gwen passes, and Izzy. Beth passes also 6 points. Duncan passes, Jeff fails. She passes, Bridget would pass now because Owen's not here. Tyler fails. Light passes, Sadie passes, Eva and Ezekiel pass, and Harold fails. 3, 6, 9. Now Heather can get her group to target, and she gets these guys to target Cody, because he failed his first spectacularly in this episode by the other 3 vote for Heather. In episode 8 is, so it doesn't really change, but this will help in alliances. So I think these 2 go together, and Izzy, Heather, Lindsay, Katie, and Heather. So I think Elwood and Light decide to go in a group. Jeff and DJ are just taking because Bridget takes Sadie, which would annoy Light. I think Light would take Tyler with him on a boat, and Eva, which leaves Ella to tell Harold and Ezekiel that he'll sort out Duncan. He says he'll take Harold with Elle also taking these two, and it's just 3 people. So I feel like Eva, Tyler, and Eva will be brought by Tyler. Light brings Tyler. I think Eva and Duncan are on the boat together, and Light has to take L's force to be with this group that he was going to take at the original. And Izzy still gets chased down in the CRMB. Episode 9, Paintball Deer Hunter. DJ, Jeff, Bridget, Duncan, Sadie, so that's 5, Light, and then the rest are Deer. And then Beth still rebels against the Alliance. Now, Heather can't save herself anymore. However, she can get Katie and Lindsay to vote for Beth, but is unable to convince the other 3 to vote for each other. So the other 3 vote for Heather, and in that tiebreaker, I'm pretty sure Beth would lose. However, because Beth's gone home here, Heather never finds out she has the Tiki statue. Episode 10's Cooking Challenge. I think Heather takes charge. She gets locked in the freezer. Without Owen here to eat the ribs, there's no reason for the Gophers to lose. So Light has Tyler, Eva, and Sadie in a little group. So Light would get these 3 to target Eva. These 4 target Duncan. I think Light can become persuasive for Bridget, so he gets rid of Duncan. But L, he decides to counter. So he talks to Duncan on how Light has 5 people in his alliance, so we need to counter. So Duncan accepts because he's desperate at this point and needs to get numbers. So he talks to him to get rid of Bridget, but Elle explains that Jeff will not vote Bridget, so we need to make a compromise. Now, Harold and Duncan don't like each other, but I think Elle can convince Duncan and Harold for the one time can we vote together. And I think they decide to go for Tyler because go for Sadie because she's the worst in challenges, and I think they actually would vote her off here. Like in episode 11 is Who You Can Trust. It's Heather and Gwen. DJ and Duncan, DJ Duncan, Sean, Lindsay, Katie, Jeff, Bridget, I think, and Katie's infirmary, Shauna, Heather, Gwen, Eva, Light, Tyler, I think Tyler, Lindsay, Heather, Light, I think Heather gets infirmary, and then DJ still loses Jeff's bunny, but luckily L saves the rabbit, so he doesn't lose his bunny in this universe, so the Killer Bass win the challenge because DJ has already left up with mask here. And I think Heather gets everyone to vote for Lashana. Episode 12 is basic straining. I think Tyler wins the challenge. And they vote for Gwen. Episode 13 is Extreme Torture. Katie and Elle, I think Elle, Eva, Heather, Eva, Lindsay, and Harold. I think Harold wins the challenge. Now, Lindsay and Katie both like each other. And for Heather, it's a bit tricky to figure out who she would take to the end. But if I had to guess, she would take Katie. So she talks to Katie and tells her to get rid of Lindsay. As I think she would seriously earn a tiebreaker round. Now we're at the merge, and my god. Wow, Katie and Heather are the ones I just realized who are actually on their team that made it. So episode 15, I think Eva wins the challenge. I think Heather can Duncan. L has his little group. So Light has his group of Bridget, and Bridget's with Light and Eva. They're a 5-person alliance group. L has Ezekiel and Harold. And Heather will try to get Duncan's little group to vote with her. To vote Harold. But Elle and Light would make an alliance, a temporary truce, here to vote for Heather. Because they realize she's too much of a threat to keep around. Tyler's going to want her out. I think they agree to get her out here. Episode 16, I think Light can now get Katie on side. Which I think... So in episode 16, Light and Elle think Light to do the exact same thing Heather did and that. Easier. So he wins immunity. Elle and Duncan would work together and make a guy's alliance. Elwood told Harold and Zeke they need to work with Duncan, but Harold's not having it. And Light sees this as a good opportunity to manipulate Harold on side. So these 5 want to target Duncan, the other 5 want to get rid of Eva. Harold's going to side with Light to get rid of Duncan. Which shocked the rest of the team. Episode 17, Harold is now repented and gone back to the heroes. Jeff and DJ are arguing with Harold to get rid of Duncan. Elle will try to referee the situation, but Harold's just off by himself. And Ezekiel's happy to work with Jeff and DJ. I think in this challenge, Light still wins immunity. And I think DJ's on the roof. So Elle also wins the challenge. Harold would get Zeke to vote for DJ because he is friends with Elle, but he's annoyed at him for trying to get them to vote with Duncan. Light would also get these guys to vote with Jeff. vote for DJ because he's with Bridget in an alliance. So they vote DJ. Episode 18 is the bike race. And I think Tyler would wipe out. And I think Katie wipes out. Eva makes it, no one else qualifies second round. Bridget and Jeff crash into each other, being distracted by each other's presence. I think Light and Elle purposely crash out. Eva crosses from Ezekiel and Harold. I think Harold crosses for Zeke. Episode 19 is Screamer. I think to win the challenge. So Light has Lance, Katie. I think Light and Elle wins. Katie gets the worst death. 20. I think Light wins the challenge. And Bridget refuses to vote Jeff. Harold's happy to work with Light, so he's working with Jeff. That's 21. Calm it down a lot. So Light and Bridget, Elle and Tyler leaves Harold and Eva. I think the first challenge to the Eaten one, so I think it's Light and is Elle and Tyler. First round is Eva and Harold. Another here is Elle and Bridget. With preparing at this point. So Light convinces his group, and Elle and Harold realize Bridget is too popular, so they vote her off. Now, Light and Elle wouldn't be nearly as popular here, so I think Katie and Sadie do actually say Light's name here, and I think Heather will want to say Eva. So I do think Light gets eliminated, which out of our Light series is the weakest split Light will get because he loses to a rig challenge. That's 23 now waiting. That's 24. I think it's Genius versus Brawn and Brain. I think Tyler and Eva lose the challenge, and Jeff chooses to get rid of Eva. At 25, Elle and Harold would have a rivalry with each other. I think they do not like each other for not working together. I think Elle and Harold do finally reconcile, and Tyler makes it to the end. So between Elle and Harold, I think Harold has more, and Elle is going to make it for Harold. So Elle and Tyler are in the finale. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. So here's moving on. If Elle and Light were both in total drama, and yeah, peace, farewell.